Welcome back to this edition of Eagle Talk. I'm your host, A. Lewandowski, and today we have a very special guest, Superintendent of Linden Community Schools, Mr. Russ Zasowski. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, Aiden. How are you, buddy?
I am good as
Thanks
well.
for having me. I appreciate this.
Of course. And today he is going to be talking about the replacement vote of the sinking fund on May 5th, 2026, and he's going to be informing voters on what it is and why it is so important to our school district. So let's start off general. For those who do not know, what is the sinking fund?
So a sinking fund allows, it's a critical option that school districts with the support of their community have to help use those funds, the sinking funds or the monies that come from the sinking fund for capital improvements. We're fortunate moving forward with this election on May 5th that we'll also be able to use those funds for safety and security upgrades, technology upgrades, potential transportation and maintenance vehicles, as well as capital improvements across the district.
And what are the benefits of passing a new sinking fund?
Yeah, so the biggest benefit is it allows us to keep our educational dollars in the classroom. Without a sinking fund, we would have to use our general fund dollars for capital improvements, for upgrades, so on and so forth. With a sinking fund and the community support of that, now what we can do is we can take those general funds and really dedicate that money, as we've had in the past, for the classrooms, for our students, for our teachers, to really make sure that we are intentional about our curriculum purchases, to make sure that our students have opportunities. Without a sinking fund, we would have to use general fund monies for repairs.
And what are some examples of how sinking fund money has been used in the past, whether it's the high school or just the district? Sure,
district in general, we've used it for our parking lots. When we had the expansion of the student parking lot here at Linden High School, that was a sinking fund project. HVAC repairs or replacements, refrigerators for our kitchens, freezers for our kitchens. Those have all been sinking fund projects. Our stadium here at the high school, sinking fund project. And that includes everything from our track to our concession area, the turf on the field, the bleachers, the fencing, everything about it was sinking fund. We've used sinking fund for door replacements. We've used it for some upgrades, carpet upgrades, so on and so forth. So for the last 30 years, we've been fortunate that our community has supported a sinking fund here for the Linden Community Schools. So our maintenance plans have really been on target. So we've been able to keep up to speed and keep up to date with some of our maintenance plans, which have really put us in a good position moving forward. But again, without a sinking fund, we'd have to continually use general fund dollars, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep those monies in the classroom.
Yeah, and I know you touched on it a little bit, but what does the school plan to do with a sinking fund replacement? How will the money be used in the future?
Yeah, so typically what we have within our community here at Linden, within our district here at Linden Community Schools, we have a facility needs committee. So we go through, we look at what we need or what we want here within our district, and then we usually have a big list, and then we start going through it. But there are some needs. There are things that we have to do. One, for example, would be a roof replacement at the middle school. That was not part of the bond project because that was one of our newest buildings. But we still have some replacement and some repairs that have to be done. We also have some asphalting projects that are on the books that we have to, again, move forward with. And that's like our parking lots, fixing them, making sure that, the surfaces are up to standard.
And for some of the voters, are there any assumptions that you want to dispel about what people may think the sinking fund is? How will it impact taxes, if at all? Will it raise them, or will it decrease them, or will it stay the same?
That's a great question. So it's a zero rate increase. So like I said, for the last 30 years, we've had a sinking fund. 10 years ago, our voters supported a 1.3 mils tax levy for our sinking fund. Now, because of the Headley Amendment, that's actually lowered to 1.176. So on May 5th, our voters will see on the ballot that we are asking them to approve a 1.176 mil sinking fund replacement. It's a zero tax increase for our voters. So there's no increase.
That's good. That's good. And is it used for teacher salaries or, any assumptions for what the money's used for?
No, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, Aiden. So the sinking fund cannot be used for teacher salaries. So again, sinking fund with what we're asking our voters on the ballot, safety and security, technology, capital improvements, that's all it'll be used for. And again, a lot of that legally, that's all we can use it for. So no, those dollars are not for teacher salaries. They're not for administrative salaries. They're not for any salaries at all. That's what general fund dollars will do.
And is there a final message that you might have for the voters? Why is a replaced sinking fund so important to our school district?
It's important because, again, it allows us to keep educational dollars in the classroom. It allows us to make sure that our buildings are in a condition, our district are in a condition that's top notch. And we've been able to do that, like I said, for the past 30 years. It's great for our community. It allows us to offer more opportunities to our community members, to our students. These things like just the podcast and being able to have a space. Again, sinking fund helps to give us those opportunities. So again, on May 5th, we'll have a special election asking voters to go out and vote. And we do have the sinking fund replacement. It's a zero tax increase replacement that's going to help Linden Community Schools support safety and security, technology, capital improvements. So we're really looking forward to it. We do have a website on our webpage at www.lindenschools.org. There's a sinking fund tab. Our community can click on that, find out all the same information that you and I are talking about today.
That is going to wrap up today's special edition of Eagle Talk. I appreciate Mr. Sosowski taking time out of his very busy schedule to come meet with me and inform voters on the sinking fund replacement.
Awesome. Aiden, it was a pleasure. Anytime, pal.
Of course.
Thanks a lot.